up.
Oh my God!
How are you? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Good.
I mean, congratulations. I mean, this is the second year in a row where everyone is just buzzing. Your name's on everyone's lips for this performance in The Danish Girl.
Thank you. It's so nice to be back. I just finished shooting a film in London yesterday, and it was cold and miserable, and now we're here in LA, and it's sunny and beautiful.
From cold and miserable to warm. I have to say, you know, this people are sort of saying this is an amazing look at transgender and the transgender community at large. This isn't your first foray, though. You played Viola in 12th Night.
It's true, actually. One of my first ever professional play was playing Violet in 12th Night with Mark Rylance, who's nominated this evening. He was playing Olivia. So, because back in the day, Shakespeare often had boys playing girls. So, yeah.
What do you hope, or what did you learn rather, from the transgender community in making this film? Because I think that it's such a wonderful thing to have had so many people who were not necessarily cisgender in this movie.
Do you know, I've been attached to it for about 3 or 4 years, and it's been just the most gigantic education for me, and I've met so many extraordinary people, and what's interesting is that the conversation has come into the mainstream media in this past year, and but it's almost 100 years since Lily and Gerda's story, and some of the issues that they dealt with of sort of violence and discrimination are still very much sort of apparent for the trans community now. So what's astounding to me is sort of how little progress there's been in that period of time.
One of the most remarkable things about this, and obviously every role you do, is you take a real physical approach to the character, and you worked again with a choreographer to kind of get what it would be like to try to find those movements as a person born in the wrong body. What attracts you to that kind of, I mean, it's a pretty interesting process. You work with choreographers, you kind of figure out the body as much as the words, right, as you go?
I mean, well, I think for any part you're playing, at the core of it is the emotion and
right.
what the person's soul is, really. And so you started by meeting women from the trans community and hearing their stories, and across the board there was a generosity of spirit there to really educate me that was dumbfounding. And then I learned things from them. One of the trans women I met described how early on in her transition she went through this period that she called hyperfeminization, of wearing too much makeup, of clothes that were ultra feminine, and before, as she described it, kind of as like a teenage girl's adolescence, of their finding themselves before actually she'd found who she was. And so we tried to add that element into the film and use that with not only the emotional side but the physical side.
Well, there's certainly so many emotional layers in the movie. Eddie, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Nice to see you again. Congratulations.